Raph sent me a picture that thoroughly changed my thought process. It used to be fighting is much easier from outside the cage, but I still won't talk to my grandmother over something that happened on Monopoly 10 years ago. And he sent me a photo of Think Jiu-Jitsu, the board game, which means maybe it's not quite always easier outside the cage. Maybe there is one place it is more difficult, and that's around the family table playing a game. But we're going to find out, which means it's time for Verbal Tap, the show that proves fighting easier outside the cage, as always. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, of course, Raph Esparza. Raph, how was the board game Think Jiu-Jitsu?
Kev, it's been a weekend full of seminars and amazingness, but I texted you. I said I did something amazing, and you shot me down. You said that's not possible. And I was like, Kevin, shut up. I don't have time for your jokes
I just assumed it was actually mediocre, and then couldn't have been more wrong.
And then I sent you a photo of it. Now, Kevin, we were the first people at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. So our good friend, so now we know her name is Deneen Jeffshiski. And I not only got to meet her and understand what she does. So she does what we do, which is public speaking. But she also works with inventors, and she's a motivational speaker. So she started with a PowerPoint. Now, you and I both have feelings about PowerPoint being, professional speakers, correct?
It's a vehicle, sure. Mm-hmm. You can use it.
But the minute she started to use it, she did one of those things where she didn't read everything, Kevin. So +1, already a friend.
Uh-oh, okay.
So then plus number 2, she then explained, here's kind of the idea of how the game works. This is why we want people to get involved in it. And I was like, this is amazing. But then you get to the game, Kevin. Now imagine, I can't even give you everything about it, but imagine you get a board game that combines your passion for jiu-jitsu. It encourages you to break into teams, to show each other how you do certain moves. There are challenges built into it, so you can use it as both a teaching mechanism for your classes, a challenge set for your competitors, and for kids. And you can even use belt testing for it.
Fuck. It's amazing.
So, Kevin,
I'm definitely curious. I want to hear more.
So she had been using it through the prototype stage. Now, what I said earlier was we were the first people to use it. Now, people have trained with it and used it at different places, but they've all used a prototype. Yesterday at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, she did a first seminar using the actual board game, and the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club bought the very first version of it. And we cannot be more honored. Yeah, she did sign it.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it got smudged when it got handed to me because I did a live broadcast, so it's like enjoy jiu-jitsu on the thing now instead. So our apologies to that, but if you guys want to see, we're gonna put up a YouTube version because apparently the Facebook version, my voice was super deep and it sounded really odd on the audio. So I'm currently in the process of fixing it up. I want you guys to really see this. And I know that we can get excited and we can really encourage you guys to do stuff. But Kevin, I am not joking with you. I immediately, when I saw this, I said, this will improve my game. And okay. I thought about it and I realized it's good for our competitors. It's going to give us new challenges. It's going to give us great situational drilling. The possibilities on what you can do with it are so endless that I got so excited. And she's a really nice person. She lives out in Hawaii, and they're actually going to do a seminar out in Denver over the next couple days, Kevin.
Damn, where?
Well, the nice part is she sent me some materials. So she sent me some of them. And when she said Denver, I was like, well, I guess Kevin can go look at this. Unfortunately, it is going to be, I believe, between the hours of 5 and 7. And it's going to be the Way of Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
So that's May 10th. It is 5 to 7 p.m. If you hear this, please go look it up. She's also Hawaii-based. So if you get the opportunity to do that, she's also got a seminar going down at Colorado Springs BJJ in Colorado Springs, and that is between 6:30 to 8:30, and that is on May 9th on a Tuesday. If you are in Hawaii or you want to bring her out to seminars, you can go check out her website, which is thinkjujitsugame.com. And if you tell me that you don't like this game, I want you to explain why. Because all of us when she brought out the board game, not only got hyper competitive with each other, but we were so jazzed to the point where the game ended, or like we finished our version of playing with the game, and then we just started laughing because we said, this is the coolest thing ever. We want to have dinner parties where we invite people and go, hey, I think world events are great too, but please don't fill up too much on food. We're going to, swirl our wine and then get to the Think Jiu-Jitsu game. I know I've got a great sweep that I want to show all of you guys. So that is a big part of something. And like I said, please watch our interview. We even do a demonstration of what the game does, Kevin, on the interview. So it was really nice to meet her. She is, again, good people. And if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, we are going to have it at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, and we'd be happy to play a board game version of it with you guys. So that's what I got for you guys.
The LA Jiu-Jitsu Club seems always interested in a board game night. I'm going to rapid fire some topics at you.
All right, let's do it.
You were at the Jacques Seminar. Please tell me you spoke to him.
Well, it was more like, hey, Jacques, it's Raph. And he's like, oh, God, this guy again, right? No, Jacques, he did a seminar at Valley Martial Arts Center, my home base. And it was the first time he's come to do a seminar with us. And we were so honored. And we had a lot of the extended family come in and do some really cool things with us and teach us a whole bunch. So it was great to have the whole family there. And we were truly honored. And I got to tell you something, Kev. It's always interesting to see Jean-Jacques teach. Would you like to know why?
Absolutely.
Obviously a master at his craft. I mean, that's the reason why we add the word master.
Sure.
But have you ever had this at a seminar as an experience, Kevin? Have you ever had your teammates, when they get to the Q&A, ask the instructor questions that would help them take you down?
No, normally my teammates need no help with that.
Well, mine were not shy in asking Master Jean-Jacques, a coral belt, questions as to how to continue to beat me up. And they stared at me each time.
By the way,
they asked him. And I was like, and at one point in the interview, I told him about it. And I was like, Jean-Jacques, I have to tell you, it's not just rolling against you anymore. It's now rolling against these idiots and you. And I can handle them, but you're above my pay grade. You can find out what he told me in response to that in my video, which will go up later this week on our YouTube page. Again, we've also got new episodes. So if you guys don't catch them on, this version, you can also go ahead and catch them on our YouTube. We're starting to put up old episodes, so bear with us. We are putting up as much as we can for your entertainment, but you will be able to see my interview with Jean-Jacques as well as my ADCC interviews as well, Kevin, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, as my USA Wrestling interviews, but we will put a pin on that. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts to, Jean-Jacques and all of the extended family for coming in. It was a truly great day for a seminar for us. So that's what I got for you.
Yeah, I'll tack on. Check out the Clay Guida interview.
Yes.
For a little preview of what Raph's capable with the one, the only Jean-Jacques. Really enjoyed the Clay Guida interview. He's a hard guy to get to stand still without punching you. So I thought you did a really good job.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed his candor, by the way. Just seems like we thought, a guy that loves fighting. Loves it. Loves wrestling. Loves grappling. Loves it.
Yep.
That's what he does in his spare time. Amazing. So check out that for all of the U.S. wrestling coverage. Alternate two-piece uniforms. Speaking of wrestling coverage.
Mm-hmm.
I feel vindicated. I feel like this is all us. I don't know. I'm just throwing out the potential of those two-piece uniforms look badass. And here's what I said to you, and here's how I still feel. Explain to me why it should only be the singlet. I don't want to take away the singlet as an option. I definitely want to know who my enemies are, and they normally have one on. All I'm asking is, why should it be the only option? And I think the answer is, because that's always been the only option. That's a terrible answer. So
it is a terrible answer, but I had a question for you, Kevin. Do you remember what my question was?
What about how awesome the singlet is?
No, that was not exactly what I had put to your viewpoint.
Oh.
But You and I had a serious discussion about this last week on our podcast, and that's why we can take credit for it. And it's not just there. We've had this discussion plenty of times before. But Kevin, why does this pertain to you and I?
Well, you also mentioned that the first thing they do is take the singlet off. That was the, not completely, but they'll remove the top half.
No, I laugh about it because when they were at the USA Wrestling Trials, they literally, like, as soon as they leave, they're just like, oh, these straps are too hard. I can't. Oh, I need to breathe.
Fuck these straps.
So that's hilarious to me. But no, that's not the real reason why. The real reason why it's hilarious to me is this. So Kevin, I told a story about having, Kevin was getting a really good takedown on me, but he was grabbing cloth in order to secure the takedown. And then we both agreed that wasn't the case. Now with the singlet, it's really hard to grab onto things, but I've heard that people will use it as a mechanism because they are very competitive. But I ask you, even though it is compression, even though it is supposed to be a wicking away, people still find ways to do it in no-gi. So are they going to pull a Kevin and try and use those grips when now they have some cloth to kind of pull onto?
Well, fortunately, they won't be pulling a Raph or an Eddie Bravo and wearing pants. They will be wearing grappling shorts.
How dare you? Don't put that on me. I made a very, very concerted effort. You did the same thing. You cannot put that on me.
I'm just saying. Muscle memory won't feel that canvas and think grip. That's not what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Kevin's just making more excuses for his terrible
as
technique.
many as I possibly can. Conor McGregor had a child. Congrats to him. 8 pounds, so mostly congrats to his lovely wife.
Absolutely. The best response to Conor McGregor having a kid has to come from a cartoon. I don't know the person who did it, but Kevin, what is Conor McGregor going to say to his kid when he wants them to go to bed?
I don't know.
He's going to say, hey, you get to your room. And then the kid's going to respond, you fucking do nothing. So, I thought that was adorable.
That would be amazing. Some, confusing news. One of the Miyao brothers, which means basically both Miyao brothers, tested positive for steroids. No, this was Zhao, right?
I think so. I don't know. They're same thing.
It was Zhao. The Miyao suspended for banned substance. And I guess I can't imagine that IBJJF tests in a very ambitious manner. Maybe they do. That would surprise me. So what do we know? We know he kind of didn't cop to it, but also didn't deny it. Just your standard sort of Barry Bonds, like, hey, what I drink is in the milkshake that people give me,
I was hoping there would be a little bit more definitive kind of a response to it, but there was more of a, I apologize for what I did to my team, which isn't exactly saying I'm sorry, so maybe he doesn't care, or maybe it's a sorry, not sorry kind of situation. But for us, we were like, what the fuck is it? It's actually Paulo. Just to
my bad.
Go ahead and do this.
Sorry, John.
And just to go and say this, it said he's been stripped of his, worlds and title, which fun. But he said, I would like to apologize to all who accompany me and support me. As many know, I ended up failing the USADA anti-doping test made during the 2016 World Championship. I take full responsibility without excuses, which, great. That is good. I do enjoy that. I'm sorry to my training partners and my teachers, and secondly, for my opponents with whom I fought in this year's Worlds. My punishment will be 2 years, which they normally say is just 1. So, my heartfelt apologies to everyone. Living in the past paralyzes the present and ruins the future. So, Kevin, we know the one thing about the Miaos, which is, when they ask, do you have any hobbies? And they say, no. And they're like, do you do anything other than jiu-jitsu? No. Does this, drive them crazy? What are they going to do?
I don't know. I'm a little nervous, but
I'm really nervous about them.
Great time to pick up an extra, maybe think of it as like a grappling plus where you use your hands and your feet to kick things. Punch them.
Quilting, they could do that.
I wish that ever described quilting. That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, basically that, Raph. That's what we're talking about. So it should be an interesting.
Do they like still tag team and like pretend that they're one the other? Because they could fool most of us. You know
Yeah,
that,
they
right?
could totally. Yeah, they could easily swap it in. But what a devastating and early winner for potentially best tag team jiu-jitsu couple.
Yep.
So, team, you know,
Yes.
they might be opening a flyweight division for UFC for women. Raf, I'm. Can we get a press? Can we just get a memo, a press release? I don't know, something that tells us yes or no.
Well, okay, so here's how it started, and this is really sad. My favorite part about this story was that they put out a press release that's like, "Hey, we're going to create a flyweight division," and they're like, "Wait, hold the brakes. We're not so sure." So, however they want to do that, if that news leaked out and they didn't want it leaked too early, because they said they're going to do the next episode or the next installment of The Ultimate Fighter with flyweight females, which great. But then they retract it, makes it seem like we're not so sure about creating a new division, or that's going to be broads, or yeah, we're not so sure. And I just thought, what a fucking missed opportunity for the UFC. Here you have a new division, and you have that weird, like, in between weight between the two current divisions that maybe could make things a little bit more exciting because a lot of females have said that it's not easy to make those two different weights. And they said that you could potentially open up a bigger pool if you were to, make a new division. So here was your answer. And it seemed like they were for it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hold on, wait, we thought about it, guys. And it's like, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But don't make the announcement. Like, if they made the announcement, at that point, you're pot committed. So just fucking do the show because nobody cares about the Ultimate Fighter. So just do it. That's it. And if you want to really make it a thing, like you don't want people to see it, put it on Fight Pass. So I don't know. It was disappointing to see in that realm. So we wish them the best. We hope they make the right decision. And I'm going to call it weak sauce if they end up doing it and then look like they were trigger scared or nervous to not fully do the thing. So that is my report on that for you guys.
Nate Diaz is the big winner this week in the Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather fight. Nate Diaz has been on spitting hot fire of I'll box them, I'll box anyone, I'm not going to fight Tony, go fuck yourself, and a myriad of other things, including let us smoke weed. Let us smoke, bro.
Well, it's kind of a problem, though, Kevin.
Why?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about the beauty that was Nate Diaz saying he had to sneak in to UFC. I think it was 205 for Conor's fight. He said he had to be let in the door, which amazing. And he also said, yeah, he'd box both of them. But the best thing he did say was when Conor McGregor was suddenly given an odds by Floyd Mayweather to potentially upset him by Floyd. And he's like, why the fuck will you even say that? Like, you guys remember Wolf tickets? Like, my fucking greatest hits were fucking Wolf tickets. Well, like, that fucker's just selling Wolf tickets. I don't even want to give a shit for that. And that's impressive. For him to actually tell us and say, like, y'all, isn't that pretty stupid? Because that was my first thought when Floyd was opening the door to be like, well, Conor could beat me now because I'm old and I don't know how to box anymore. And I sure would hate for someone to make a pay-per-view on Mexican Independence Day, maybe. I don't know, unless there's some other boxing event that, is there is? Oh, well, shit. All right, well, a different day when we can make lots of money. So, dumb.
He's
Good
doing
response.
it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, sorry, I was just going to give a quick mute and cough. Kelvin, stripped of his most recent victory, suspended, ridiculous for performance-enhancing drug marijuana. Look, how Kelvin gets to sleep is no one on this podcast's business, or any fucking in the UFC who's doing coke off a stripper at this exact moment, including that's where I assume they have their board meetings. The fact that Kelvin is getting this for taking something that, if anything, if you've watched the movie How High or any of Dave Chappelle's work, this is not a performance-enhancing drug. This is performance, tolerating. It'll make your back a little looser in training. Raph, your thoughts?
I can't overrule your weed thoughts, so
Hey,
I won't
nice.
because that's your thing, Kevin.
Just 'cause of
Like,
my knowledge and experience.
um, your practice and the amount of hours you put into it. I think it would be rude to overstep my boundaries to call myself the weed
I
expert of the
appreciate that.
podcast.
I put a lot of hours
So,
into this.
I acquiesce, Kevin, to you on that one.
Well, thank God, because I need you to get tuned up for this
Okay.
next.
Well, wait. Let me just say this real quick about this because the big winner of this whole situation between Kelvin losing now or having a no contest or whatever they end up doing with him and Vitor is Kevin.
Nate Diaz.
No, Jesus, because that's a big win for Jesus.
That's true. You just have to have faith in Jesus, and you'll be good. You'll be good to roll. Oh, fucking amazing. No one is readier for a fight at all times than GSP, but this week he made it clear to Michael Bisping that he was prepared to fight him. You know what? I just want to bring him on to let him explain and sort of clarify what's going on and why he's ready. So, Raph, I thought into John Combs we could chat with GSP first.
That makes sense.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just introduce him, and I'm going to do his favorite, which is just get the F out, and I'll clear us all, and we'll just give him a platform to talk, which is what he wants.
And I'll get
anyway.
out too, right? That's how this works.
You have no choice. Yeah, obviously
Okay.
you're out. Too.
Sure.
He's still not over that thing.
Okay.
Verbal Tap fans, former welterweight champion, #1 dinosaur explorer in the MMA community, #7 leg lock guy in the gi. From Canada, Georges St. Pierre. GSP, the floor is yours, sir.
Ole, 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 ole. GSP has a message for Bisping. Oh, hello. It is me, GSP, your favorite welterweight champion, yes, no? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you I am very excited to fight Mr. Michael Bisping. I have a message for you. Yes, no? Okay. My message to you, Michael Bisping, is I have cleared my schedule. Yes, that's what's right. I have a Google Calendar that I use to figure out my schedule, and I have decided that, yes, after October, I am ready to fight you any day then. Not before October, because I actually have a thing I have to go to. I have a quinceañera in September, and then after that, I actually have to perform at 2 kids' parties in August. So that is all the stuff that GSP is doing. Oh, in July. July is too hot to fight. No GSP fight in July. That is part of GSP's contract. What I guess I am saying to you is, Michael Bisping, I am so serious about fighting. I have cleared my schedule, yes, no, in order to fight you in approximately like 5 to 6 months. So should you accept, then A+. Hold on, can they see my thumbs up?
No.
On this?
No.
Oh, GSP. Thank you very much, Kevin Phillips. I appreciate you telling GSP. Okay, get off. This is GSP's time. I have paid advertisement. Yes, no?
Yeah, you did. For 100%. It's yours.
All right, here we go. GSP, now do thumbs up sign.
No, again, they cannot see.
No, listen, I have paid for this for myself. I have said thumbs up sign, which is letting the people know on the audio broadcast.
My bad.
So, okay, I'm going to finish now. GSP wants to say, see you anytime after October. Thumbs up sign. Kev, it's been a while since I brought a competitor on this show, and not just like somebody who competes or somebody who does MMA for a living. Somebody who is a go-getter, somebody who pushes the action, somebody who can easily submit you. Now I know
the qualities I don't have.
Things,
by the way, being a go-getter / yeah.
Now, I know 2 of those things sound like they're way easier to accomplish than one of them. And one of them sounds especially easy to accomplish. But I felt it was important to bring on somebody who, when you mentioned competition...
I hate you for this, by the way.
Why do you hate me, Kevin? No. Why do you, just be real with me. Why do you hate me before I tell you who it is?
You sound confident.
It's easy to sound confident when you know the caliber of the competitor. When you know that this person is a black belt, so number one,
Sure.
strike one for Kevin. Number two,
strike one
he's
for
just a
anyone.
better-
By the by, don't just say like my weakness, but yeah.
Well, Kevin, I'm trying to put you with normal people. If I were to tell like most people, like, hey, Kevin's a purple belt, but like there's a white belt or two that kind of pushes them, I think that would be insulting to you. So I'm trying to raise your stock.
Thank you. I appreciate.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for not mentioning that. It's super helpful.
And I'll mention some of the names. I don't want to put them out on Front Street. They're only been doing jiu-jitsu for 2 months, but that doesn't make any difference. It's just, listen, guys. Number two, and this is strike two for Kevin. He's a headhunter. So Kevin's not used to really getting compressed in the neck because he has a giant head.
Don't like it. Yeah.
Number three, and this is probably where strikeout happens, Kevin. His name is John Combs, somebody that you enjoy. So why don't we go and introduce him on the show?
Someone
John, how are
that's
you?
near me, you
That's
dickhead.
I'm doing-
Yeah.
Dude, I'm feeling great, man. Yeah, it's really been a good couple days here.
John, you live close enough to terrify Kevin. Most of these people who I pick on the show are from different parts of the world. But if I were to say the word and tell you exactly where he trains, you could find him very easily.
I
In
could
fact,
show up.
He
you
has
have shown up
before.
to his academy before.
Just once. And
Yeah.
he just chews
So-
gum and looks like
Yeah.
a quiet shark on the corner of the mat. That's what I noticed about John Coons. Like he sat down and was just like, that guy competes.
I would
feel
also
it.
like to point out that on the preview to the show, before we went live, I was telling Kevin, I was like, I'm going to try and figure out how you should say his name because I was trying to be subtle about it. I was like, some people say John Coombs. I won't name names.
Mhm.
And then who, lo and behold, does it on the show? Kevin, I tried not to sell you out, but you call him John Combs. John Combs. Is that how you pronounce his name? John Combs. Go.
That's how my dad says it. That's how I say it. Yeah, so everybody in my family says it. So yeah, John Combs.
Kevin, where do you get the Coombs from?
Terror. Just like a
No.
little bit of fear, so I elongate the O. Because he's also you're an in shape person, which they dropped the last time they were mispronouncing your name on Flow Grappling's Fight to Win.
Hey, what?
They always, I mean, it's always a Coombs, Coombies, Coombs, like Cones. Like there's a lot of different variations of your very simple
John
name.
Combs.
You also
God,
move
sad.
quickly, so no one has time to say your entire last name. There's a lot of syllables, and by the time you shoot, it's like, and Combs, Jim Combs from Easton. He's in the single. There's a certain flaw to it. But last time they said you were, you kept in shape via triathlons. Are they quoting
What?
that
Oh my
correctly? They were like, he's super
Okay,
in
so-
shape.
There's some, okay, so those. So I did the swimming portion of a triathlon in Cleveland in 2013. There was like a swimming triathlon competition. So I did the swimming portion. My brother did the running, and then my dad did the bike. No, my uncle Randy did the bike.
Still counts.
The other Combs.
I have news for you.
Still counts.
There's-
Still counts. At least I did one triathlon, kind of, sort of, one third. I did swim like 800 yards in Lake Erie, though. So that's pretty cool.
I mean,
But
that is
why?
badass, but
Can
that
you
is not the
explain
message
why? Because
portrayed.
I need to know why.
They were
Why?
like-
Why did you do that?
Great swimmer in cold ass water. That would have been cool too.
Did that make your
Yeah.
deep half better, John?
Yeah, it helps out with the pummeling.
Because that's the only reason people get me to do athletic things anymore. Like, I feel like my instructors when they do burpees and they're like, Raph, you got to do them 49 burpees. And I go, did they make me better at jiu-jitsu? And they tell me like, yes. And then I'm like, you're lying. And then they say, shut up and just do it. And that's the only way
All right,
they
Ralph.
convince me to do it.
They don't make you better at jiu-jitsu, but they make you a better athlete, which will make you better at jiu-jitsu.
No, it's not. I have been told I don't need to be an athlete at this sort of nonsense. And that's the only reason I do this.
You can get away with it, but definitely, any athletics is going to help you.
No, John, listen, I am a fat kid. This does not work for me. All of the athletic nonsense. Like, I go and I tell people, and you think I'm telling them a lie when I go up to them and I go, guys, the greatest part about jiu-jitsu is you don't have to be in shape to be good at it. And people are always like, what? You mean to tell me I'm telling them
All
a lie, John Combs?
No, okay, not at all. You can definitely be out of shape and still have incredible jiu-jitsu.
You heard it here, folks. Black Belt has his own BJJ Heroes page. Eat whatever you want. Jiu-jitsu.
Have you looked at that page, John, by the way?
I've seen. Yeah, Andre made that for me around this time last year.
Kevin,
But I'm not
highlights on there.
It does go quite a bit.
I can.
At least the last few fights, they have you starting. It basically starts from Copa Podio 2016 and goes forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Nice
yeah, it was right when I got my black belt.
Your name and just go like, let's change this.
Wait, like to my name, BJJ Heroes?
Yeah, do you ever like send in a submission that's like, hey guys, no big deal. I just want to go ahead and submit my own version. You start by saying like John Combs is an American grappler, but you don't say John is a beautiful American grappler.
Well, that's an opinion, not a fact, right? Or is that a fact? I don't know.
In this day and age, feelings are facts. So just letting you
know.
I will highlight a few unknown fighters he defeated at the Guatemala Open. Rest in peace to both of those.
Oh, yeah.
Unknown submitted fighters.
Guatemala Open was fun.
Fought in Guatemala.
Guatemala Open was fun. Yeah.
So you're at least on 2 continents now. We just got to get you over to Europe.
Yeah. So I have to go to Europe. I messed that up with Europe. Ooh.
I was going to say, I wouldn't think you would. Have you gone over to the European trials? You kind of pop up all the time. It seems like you're on a tear. How much do you space things out when you're trying to plot out your competition season?
I mean, I was doing them super consistently. Like I think I did 16 last year, so I was doing a lot. Like that was pretty high pace, and then I was trying to keep that up at the beginning of this year, and then I just kind of kept messing up, and I probably should have competed at like 10 tournaments up to this point, and I think I've done 5, I think. So I definitely have slowed down a lot competing, but that's more been because of injury this year. But, preferably I'd like to compete at least about every 3 weeks. I think that's a good pace.
So, John, this is the first time you've been on our show. We always like to know.
Yeah.
Whenever we have, for the first time, let's get a little bit of your journey. How did the journey start for one John Combs?
Well, my mom took me to wrestling practice.
Done.
Back in 2005 when I was 14. So that was the beginning, huh? How about you, Rob?
When did I do it? Well, there was an old man.
Mm-hmm.
He had a token, and he basically was like, "Hey, kid, if you can beat me, you can have this token now." First of all, I know, John. Listen, my story is super boring. I literally, the thing for me was, and Kevin knows this. I tried to do grappling way back when I was in college, and I tried to do it in Illinois, and I tried to do it in Kentucky, and we're talking back in 2006. And the minute I would leave a place, they would then open up a jiu-jitsu place at that place. So as soon as I was leaving Illinois, they're like, "Hey, here's one down the street," and I was like, "You mother." So then when I went to Kentucky, I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm going to grad school. Let's see what happens here." I go to grad school, and they're like, "Where's the closest one?" They're like, "Well, you got to drive like 25 miles. And I'm like, "Well, I don't have a car. How the fuck am I going to get there?" Cut to as soon as I leave. "Oh, hey guys, jiu-jitsu's like really big. Who knew? Here are some classes." So when I got back home, I started to look. I started with the 10th Planet System, and then I recognized, I like Dutch Gi. So give me Dutch Gi. And I've been a mixer ever since. Kevin, do you have a romantic story for yours?
Combatives, Joe Wilk. They taught combatives, Army combatives level 1 at K-State. And it was taught by, wait for it, 2 jiu-jitsu guys, both black belts. Joe Wilk runs the Combative Sports Center in Kansas City. Or I'm sorry, Manhattan, but they fight a lot in the Kansas City area. And that'd be we need to get them out to Colorado. It'd be fun. There's also some Kansas City grappling tournaments that I feel like some Colorado people should day trip to and just destroy for a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to try some of those Rev Gear out there once that Ethan Day was putting on. Yeah, that'd be fun, man. I'd definitely.
Yeah, he's part of the KC BJJ connection, which is a fantastic gym to train at if you're ever looking to get brutalized in the Kansas City area. Everyone, that's just a free plug for them.
And can I mention something real quick, though? Because this has never happened. Nobody's ever cared enough about our journey to ask us.
No, he did turn that around, honestly, very quickly.
I was not expecting that. But you know what? That just goes to show the black belt thinking. Because I was like, why do you care about us, John Combs?
He's figuring out new ways to defeat us is all. He just needs to know. He's already...
Just feel... Anderson Silva, feeling you out. But
there's nothing to feel. I will put that out there right now. What you are getting is like, if you're trying to use your Jedi mind tricks on Kevin and I, good luck, because we have no minds to control. Boom.
I was about to say it's
that's
working.
Just, I am genuinely curious what brings people to jiu-jitsu, because I think what jiu-jitsu has been for me as like that crazy competitive thing isn't what it is for most people. So I definitely like hearing what brings people to jiu-jitsu.
That's awesome, dude. And like I said, you are an active competitor. The fact that you're sitting here kicking yourself being like, I've only competed 5 times this year. It's May, dude.
Relax.
Yeah. I was doing 16 times in like 5 months this time last year. Well, you know what? You're going to get older, dude, and you need to take care of everybody, because we enjoy watching you compete. And I would rather watch you like pace yourself out rather than being like, anybody got a tournament? Anybody want to get the shit kicked out of them? I'll show up. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, injuries. Sometimes you're just smarter to avoid.
What is going on with you? Can I ask what the specific injury? I know you've had your foot taped up in a few of your last. It
was kind of fun. It's got Ian Murray. He's a brown belt from Tampa, I think. He slapped a real nice heel hook combination on my end. Man, so it was one of the craziest things. The ADCC trials this year, I kind of wrote this guy off, and that was a mistake, man. I went for a silly toe hold, and he put me right in the honey hole. Yeah. And I just got moving half a second too late, and man, he snatched that on tight. Did some crazy. He went from I'd never seen this happen before, but he went from outside heel hook to inside. He like turned. Apparently, he's like Josh Hayden's student, but yeah, man, he got me good, and he actually was destroying my knee and let me go. I didn't really necessarily tell. He just kind of let me go at a point, and I really appreciated that, because he did some damage. He could have done a lot more if he wanted.
Hey, little shout out to the Hayden brothers. Oh, good friends of the podcast.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, and then and like a week after that, I was doing fighting Andres in Cleveland, and he had me in a real nasty knee bar. I didn't realize how bad it was. Like, watching the video, I should have tapped like 3 seconds before I did, because it was a done deal. But I didn't really realize how bad it was, and I tapped real late and got my knee yanked on a little bit, which ended up re-hurting my ankle. But at this point, I've seen some people that have helped me get it better, and I'm actually feeling really good.
That's good. And
that's great, man. Yeah. And it is important to take your distance and to recover as much as it is. The competitive heart in you, I'm sure, would be competing every second, but the smart guy inside of you has to learn to take it a little slow. Because here's the thing, dude, you're going to be around forever. So you're not going anywhere. I'm not letting you go anywhere. I don't know if you know this. Not like I have a ton of control over you as a person, but like, I'm not letting you quit competition. So
okay.
Just know that.
Good. Well, I plan on doing this for as long as I can.
Good.
But yeah, man. Yeah. No, it's kind of also Marcelo Mafra was at the Vegas Open. And, maybe if it was somebody else, the weaker opponent than that, but I just kind of, if I'm going to beat the top guys, I got to be at least close to 100%.
Yeah,
I would think. And we're going to get to over under, because that's obviously your journey here, but you're currently fighting on the next sub underground, which is awesome. Because we get to see you, and I'm curious. I have a 2-part question, because you're fighting Gilbert Dorino Burns. You fight gi and no gi. I'm just a little curious. What's your normal training schedule like? And as you go into this fight, where you're fighting no gi, do you mix it up, or do you just still say, screw it, I'm fighting 16 times a year, I'm going to fight gi these nights and no gi nights? And which days are you teaching no gi class? Asking for a friend.
Hold on, time out. I would like to put this out there.
Come on, let him answer questions. Come on.
No, you will not answer that question, John.
Which one?
You will not
There's
answer
a lot to break down there.
Kevin.
Can we start from the beginning?
Yeah,
you can start from the beginning until you get to the Kevin's question, where he is trying to get lessons from you to use against me, John.
Or whoever.
What if I taught you some secret guillotine defense tricks, Roth? Would that make you feel better?
John, my guillotine defense is having a giant head. That's my guillotine defense.
Really
now,
head.
With someone like you, it's gonna like just go through like knife and butter. So I'm not worried about you not being able to guillotine me. But my teammates have this stupid conception amongst themselves where they say Raph can't be guillotined. And I always remind them, I'm like, if you do the technique right, I will tap. but they do it stupidly, and they freak themselves out of it. Now, Kevin doesn't even bother trying. Kevin, do you bother trying to guillotine me now?
Not very frequently. No.
That's what I thought. So Kevin doesn't even bother with that nonsense. Here's why you should know this, John. Kevin and I are deep rivals. We see each other approximately 6 to 8 months, or, every 6 to 8 months. And when we do, we have a deep rivalry. We are good at the opposite things, and we can't catch the other. This has been going on for about 4.5 years. So I don't need you giving him extra knowledge. Do you know why?
Okay, I see what you're doing here, Ralph. But
here's why. I want to point this out to you, and I want to make sure it is crystal clear. Here is why. Because I'm not rolling against Kevin at that point. I'm rolling against John Combs. And Kevin, think about that. It's not him anymore. It's now, shit, I'm going against John Combs' guillotine. And Kevin's going to be so dumb, he's going to call it the John Combs guillotine. And I don't think he should be able to learn that.
Why is Kevin grabbing my chin and slowly cupping it just out to the right? Why is he doing that? Where's this new determination coming from? That's what's coming.
No, dude, I'll teach anybody anything, man. But I might make an exception here, Ross, but we'll see.
Well, let's go back to my original question. What's your training schedule like right now? How much gi versus no gi as you train for Dorino?
It's been about half and half. I mean, I've definitely been focused a little bit more on cage work.
Oh, sure.
That's a big area of concern there. Yeah, so I've been practicing wrestling on the wall there a bit. Usually I've just been going to the same practices, but, typically at the gi practices, I'll take off my gi top and do about half the rounds no gi. So, probably about 75% no gi, 25% gi.
And what's that mean in terms of, like, obviously your training partners know what's going on. Are you training twice a day, once a day, a couple of times? Like, what's the actual...
on my official schedule,
yeah,
usually it's three or four times a day. But I really haven't been able to train at that pace for a while with this, boo-boo. Yeah. So usually it's about twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Whether that's like strength conditioning or jiu-jitsu, that's kind of the pace I've been going at. So, not anywhere near as aggressively as usual, but, as I've gone farther in this, you just kind of got to give intensity at the right moments. But still, that's at some point, like when I come back, for the 7 weeks, I'm looking forward to really, really putting in some grind.
I like that your injured camp is still twice a day. It's like most people are eating ice cream, like feeling really bad. I'm just speaking for myself.
There's been plenty of ice cream, believe me, guys. There's been plenty of ice cream.
Now, you mentioned cage work, but have you also considered what we like to call ADCC rules, which is he going to go no shirt, no rash guard?
Probably, right?
Probably. I'm expecting to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We caution those things because that's just as different as cage work, because you're like, this guy is fucking,
it's like a male
no
slip
shirt
and slide.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, this is an ADCC rule set match, right?
Well,
yeah, I was under the pretense it was just submission only, and then if there's a draw.
No. We call it ADCC rules because that's where everybody decides no rash guard.
Yeah, that's what we mean by that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think they have even the points.
It's a nickname. Kevin and I have come up for it. So anytime we see somebody go no rash guard competing, we go ADCC rules over here.
Yeah. I'm definitely. I mean, if I did it all the time, I might do it, but I just, I never do that in practice. I don't see why I do that in competition.
I understand, but we understand why the MMA guys do it, because they're just like, I'm used to it, and also, yoink, I'm going to get out of this move now.
Exactly, especially the guys with a wrestling background. They're like, go fuck yourselves. I'll go shirtless. I think as a jiu-jitsu guy, you should wear the rash guard because I think it scares them more.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I just think they're like, shit, look at him. He looks like it's a tattoo. He just looks ready. He's just going to be moving back and forth. And say what they want. MMA guys, especially when they can't strike, they are terrified of people that fit your description. That's a terrifying mix. The jiu-jitsu guys. That's why this is a fun format. Like, I kind of like what they're doing. And some of these guys are high caliber. Like Uriah Faber's on the card. He knows what he's doing when he's grappling.
Mm-hmm.
Jake
Yeah,
Shields.
yeah, I'm going to be interested. Yeah.
John,
I'm gonna
it's
be
important
intrigued
for
to
us
see how
to know, how did you get on this card and how did it all come together?
Dude, just I'm pretty sure it was Ricardo at Flow Grappling. He just hit me up on Facebook, and he arranged the whole thing.
That's sick, dude.
Nice.
Did you at the time know
Yeah,
who you were
yeah.
going to be facing?
No, I mean, dude, no, I don't think so. I don't think I agreed knowing who I'd face. I actually I'm kind of a funny story concerning Elliot, but I actually was offered the chance to compete at Submission Underground against Gordon Ryan, and I wanted to accept, but then I called my professor, and then Elliot Marshall told me I couldn't because, incidentally, we're both Henzo black belts. So that was kind of funny. But I'd almost gotten a chance to compete with Submission Underground before, back in February, I think. But that was, I had to turn down.
Oh man, that would have been a great match. Let's bookmark that in case everybody changes their minds.
Yeah, at some point I will. But dude, he's huge now. He's 205. He's a fucking monster now, dude. Oh my god.
He has gotten bigger.
I think it's part of his plan to become all the weight classes. So when we get to like 235, 290, Gordon Ryan, those are going to be the real good matches.
Well, dude, anybody who's going to beat Buchecha is going to have to be pretty big.
Oh,
I mean, in terms of, if you want to be the real king, that's the lion you got to take down.
No kidding, my friend. Well, listen, speaking of beating the king, you have not the king here. You have a pauper. You have a peasant. You have a person. Now, I need to tell this before we even start.
We're going from his Submission Underground card, which is super stacked, to this as an anticlimactic opponent moment. But I'm ready regardless, Raph. That's my type of irrational confidence.
That's fine. Now, John, I need you to know something. We've been all pleasant. We've been friends. But I want you to get into your competitive mindset right here, right now, because Kevin's no longer your friend. From here on out, we're about to play a game where the competitive stakes are on. And now you've got an opponent on the other side of this Skype conversation. So what do you think about Kevin next?
I think Kevin's a good dude, and I look forward to beating him at whatever game we're going to play.
Okay, well, that's direct and very good shit talking. We'll work on it as we go into post. Kevin, what do you have to say about Shot Combs?
Yeah, see, I think I've lulled him into a false sense of security. I've been nice. I've treated him like I respect his grappling. Spoiler alert, I don't. I'm just going to say it out loud. I mean, I'm just not impressed by his fight record yet. Maybe he'll get there. We'll see. But long career.
I will concede that, man. My BJJ here, I'm 50-50, man. I will concede that.
I love that, given that I started
with... look at the name. Look at the names and then get back to me.
I wish I could even get that far. He has I did say this before to Raph. I was like, did you know he already has a fucking BJJ Heroes page? Fuck. So I wish I could use that against you, but I was already kind of impressed by it. I was going to omit it from this part, but thanks for bringing it up, John. We get it.
And to be honest, I mean, can you really trust somebody who turned down a match with Gordon Ryan? I mean,
I'm telling you.
Jeez. Oh,
just because they trained through the same lineage.
It's just like, man, I'm super competitive, but not that competitive. Oh, look at that guy.
Well, somebody, if your professor says you got to do something. So. But yeah, honestly, that's a tough match, and
his loyalty now.
Yeah, no, I get it. He's super loyal, maybe almost to a fault. But let's see what happens. Kevin, let's go ahead and transition to the game of Over Under Kevin.
And now it's time for the thrilling installment of Over Under Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're joining us for the millionth time, welcome as well. We like to play a game here on the pay-per-view selection of Verbal Tap called Over Under Kevin. How does the game work? It's very simple. We go through the entire card. We pick the fights at random. We give each person here 15 seconds to say who they think is going to win. As the moderator, if I so deem it, I will give them 15 seconds of rebuttal time. Now, granted, while the winner will be selected by whoever picks the most correct pay-per-view guesses, we also have a premium on shit talking here. So, gentlemen, I don't want the gloves to be on anymore. I want you guys to get dirty. I want you guys to get messy. I want you guys to get angry at each other. And I want John to remember that Kevin said he's not good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he said he disrespects my grappling.
So, John, don't lose sight of that one thing that Kevin said and blow it out of proportion and consider that in the back of your mind every time he tries to
I feel
talk
like
shit
it was a
about you.
little more nuanced than that.
It was not that nuanced. Kevin is not that smart. He is not
scourge.
capable.
No, Kevin, that was direct. That was direct burn to start off with.
I would like to point out when they like go over terms in like grade school, Kevin just kind of like picked and chose the definitions he liked.
It was Kansas. It wasn't a high bar. You're in the Boulder area. Did I need to specify locationally, Raph, just so the listeners know? I'm not asking again for me, but where do you normally train?
In Boulder, Colorado, and
Perfect.
then occasionally in Denver, Colorado.
Okay. So just occasionally. Okay. Raph, go on. We're good.
That's fine, Kevin. I'm just letting him remember that the more shit you talk about him and his grappling not being good, and only 50% on BJJ Heroes, the quicker it will be for him to find you. I'm just reminding you of these things. So, he can't teach anything, but he can definitely beat the shit out of you. I definitely approve of all of that. All right, let's go ahead and start with your very first fight. Gentlemen, I am excited about this. Do you have any parting words that you'd like to say to each other while you're still kind of semi-friends,
Raph,
Kevin?
I do need to make an announcement.
Okay.
After my last card, when I went, I only got 2 fights correct. It was a low point for me. And as you know, I had publicly explained my girlfriend offered to pick the fights for me. Well, you know what? Screw it. It hasn't been going well for me the other way. So I'm going to give John free fodder here and just say I have a list where I got to listen to my girlfriend go through and make picks based off of her opinion, including things like no one named Courtney has ever won a fight. So I think I'm ready. But I do want to just quickly acquiesce that I'm deferring. I'm just saying I need help here.
Okay, Kevin, I'm very glad that you admitted that. Thank you very much. John, when you're competing, do you ever send your girlfriend or somebody you're dating to go compete on your behalf?
No, I don't think I would. Well,
I don't like
for a
his
game
tone.
like this, probably. Yeah. I mean, I would trust the girl I'm dating for this game. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying if you were grappling, though, would you say like, hey, hon, can you take one for me and go face Gordon Ryan, please?
If she wanted to, sure.
If she
Well,
wanted to.
I mean, she really wanted to go grapple Gordon Ryan. I'm not going to stop her.
It's not a terrible match.
Yeah, but
It's
wait, would that be on my record on BJJ Heroes?
Absolutely.
Is that the cost?
Good question. Very
Josh.
valid question. Kevin, do you have that?
I believe they'd put an asterisk and put sent his girlfriend, comma, pretty awesome, and then just show how the team of you fought. And that's a pretty cool idea. It's like, can you beat him?
Yeah.
Maybe. Can you beat both of them?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, gentlemen, I'm ready to go ahead and start with our picks. We're going to start with Kevin, and the very first fight is a featherweight fight between Jared Gordon and Michael Quinones. Kevin, you got 15 on the clock. Go.
Yeah, I was sure it was quinoa for the first few times, but I
Jesus
want to just... I'm actually going to take quinoa because I believe in his nickname, Capo, which reminded me of something you arranged with a guitar. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, John, what do you got for us?
Well, I really don't like quinoa. That's my least favorite of the grains. So I'm going to go with Jordan. Yeah. Not a fan of quinoa, man.
Kevin, I'm going to open up 15 seconds for you to defend quinoa.
Yeah, well, I'm going to bring up a little place called Euclid Hall, just outside the 16th Street, third-ranked
God.
gastro pub in the nation. And what a slap in the face to your Boulder communionites that you don't like quinoa. I don't know if the people of Boulder would allow you to take part in their rituals without that kind of attitude.
Kev, calm down. Okay.
I'm sorry, Raph. There are certain things that are serious.
Kevin, you
Okay.
had your 15 seconds, sir. Back in the penalty box, or else you get no more words. John, Kevin has layered some deep accusations for you and your love of all things Colorado. What do you have to say in response to that?
I might not like one thing from this city, but I love almost everything else they got here. I mean, yeah, I love this place. And I think that's the only prerequisite. You need to be somewhere.
This is going to end with us voting for him for Congress if he keeps this up. That was beautiful. That was a lovely response. Okay.
Yeah, he definitely went all America on your ass.
I was going to say, God damn.
Well, I will say this. I think we're ready to go to our next fight. Gentlemen, prepare for this. Is John Combs. You're going to give us 15 seconds on who you think's going to win between a featherweight bout between Frankie Edgar and Yar Rodriguez. Go.
All right, Yar is a freaking savage, scariest leg kicks I've ever seen. Frankie's one of my favorite fighters from back in the day. Great wrestler. I got to go with Frankie, but he could get leg kicked to death. But I got to go with Frankie Edgar. He's the answer.
All right, Kev. I got 15 for you.
Yeah, to which my girlfriend was like, "Oh, he looks like that comedian from The Daily Show," and I agree. Yair Rodriguez is the choice. El Pantera.
Okay.
I've been burned by the answer before in my career, and I think we all know he stole that nickname from Allen Iverson, and I haven't let that go yet.
All right, I think that's appropriate. John, are you liking Kevin's girlfriend's decision so far?
Well, so far they've been the opposite of mine. I mean, I've only seen two. I do think that's a bad call in the last fight, but we'll see what happens.
She's maybe slightly less MMA educated, but probably just as much as me.
Well, hold on. Debatable, Kevin.
I was going to say.
Let's not go that far right now. I might have to do the podcast with her at some point.
Gosh, what a low point. If she predicts the fight significantly better, that's my biggest nightmare. I was like, I'm kind of hoping I lose. So it's like, what if she kills it? Like, I'm done. I have to give it up, right?
No lie, Kev. My wife has definitely said, so at what point do Vicky and I do a podcast?
And no one noticed. Everyone's like, wait, Verbal Tap got better this week.
Oh, God, these guys loved it. More interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
John,
would you be a fan of that, John? Would you listen if our wives or my wife and his girlfriend did a podcast instead of us?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd try it out.
All right. John Combs says he'd try it out.
They'd get John to explain his famous guillotine where Kevin failed, and then we'd be...
No, you don't get to know it, Kevin.
I was so close.
No. All right. Speaking of which, Kevin, you're going to go next. It is a featherweight bout between Gabriel Benitez and Enrique Barzola. Go.
Enrique, by the way. I want to commend the people of Dallas, Texas for taking a leap on some unknown kids. I'm going to go with Mowgli, Gabriel Benitez from Mexico, closest, best home field advantage.
All right. What do you got for us, John?
Man, I got to be honest. I didn't know these guys. They're on the Fight Pass portion. I didn't do any research on these guys, unfortunately.
It's against the rules to do research, by the way. So you're still playing by the rules.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know the rule. Then I didn't do any research, brah. And I'll go with Gabriel.
All right. There we go. I'm glad that Kevin was able to correct him. It's funny because it always makes me laugh whenever our guests say, Ref, I'm going to do a little research. And I'm like, you're adorable. That's amazing. Thank you for doing research for our shitty show. You don't need to do that. But then I never want to stop them because I feel like, Kev, they want to do the extra credit. So what am I going to tell them? No.
I like how many people like to spoil it is also, but weren't keeping score, which is also good.
Yes, it's important for people to know that as well. We are keeping score, so
we are keeping score, yes.
We are keeping score, and again, I want to put this out there. I know how competitive John Combs is, and he would not let us just, flow roll this, Kev.
No, he doesn't seem like a flow roll type of guy, if I could be so abrupt based off of watching his matches.
I'm not really a flow roll type of guy. That's kind of...
See?
We got that.
See? Not at all. Is how I would base my... next fight, Raf.
The next fight is definitely going to be a featherweight bout between Chaz Skelly and Jason Knight. John, you go first.
All right, I think I've heard of Chaz Skelly. And, I don't really know anything about him, but I think I heard about him as a wrestler once. And, I'm going to go with Chaz.
All right. Sound advice. Kevin, what do you got for us?
I mean, we are really on a tear here of accidental disagreements. I'm impressed here. Obviously, Raph, I know a lot about these fighters. I don't want to go into details. But my girlfriend chose the air of who has the scariest tattoos. And her exact words are Jason Kelly looks like he's going to murder everyone. And I agree with her. She chose well.
You can't really argue with a lot of Vicky's picks here. John, I have to ask this. Does this change the game for you when you need to talk shit to Kevin, but his girlfriend has picked the people he is picking?
So wait, is he picking people? I mean, he's picking people, but they're his girlfriend's picks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, does she follow? Do you follow MMA very much, Kevin?
Well, that's a question that gets me into trouble. You'd think I wouldn't, based on how shitty I am at this game, but yes, I do try and follow.
Really?
But the UFC has also changed over the last few years in terms of
tremendously.
They recruit a lot of young fighters, hoping the next one will stick. So they were just talking about this, that it's just a lot harder to recognize the roster right now. But yeah.
The real answer to that is studying is hard for Kevin.
Always have.
And a lot of the times he'll like look at people and he'll ask me, he's like, is that the guy who did the thing? And I go, Kevin, be more specific. And he's like, the good thing? And I go, Kevin, you're the fucking worst. Why do I do this show with you?
Now at least I'll know. It's like, is that the guy that fought John in Underground 3? Do you remember? See, it was Underground 4. My bad. But yes, that is him.
All right, we're going to our next fight. Let's go there. It is Marco Polo Reyes versus James Vick. Kevin, you've got this one to start.
Yeah, and first of all, I just want to say my girlfriend and I also agreed. I picked the fights too. I'm just going with her rankings in general, and I'll let you know when we disagree. Her and I couldn't be more in agreement. When you get the chance to hear Marco Polo said over the loudspeaker as many times as possible, you have to take that chance. Marco Polo Reyes El Toro is the choice.
Right, thank you, Kevin. Yeah. Thank you very much. John, what do you got for us?
I do think that's going to be a magnificent thing to see, but I'm pretty sure James Vick, he trains with, I think, Boyd Irving, and he's a buddy of my friend of a friend. I'm going with James Vick.
Great nickname. The Texecutioner.
No, Texecutioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
It's a great name.
Yeah, this will be I'm sure Bruce Buffer will do us proud with this introduction.
It's El Toro versus the Texecutioner. So it's a
that's
early nickname of the night. Award goes to this fight.
Oh gosh, yeah. Imagine the painting you could make.
Hey, do you have a nickname? Have you been nicknamed yet?
Kind of. I get Ricardo called like Comatine. Like my girl.
Okay.
I guess
that's pretty good. That's
fucking awesome, actually.
Yeah. You don't have like shoe face, so you win that one.
Yeah.
But John, important question. Kevin asked what I was going to ask, but now I'm going to ask you what I was going to follow up with, which was, if you had to give Kevin a nickname based on the way he's picking right now, could you give him one?
Esposo, because he's listening to his girlfriend.
Oh,
I see we're keeping on the Cinco de Mayo and Mexican theme here. Good job, white people.
That was nicely done on the Spanish.
I enjoy this. Nothing. You know what? Can I point this out? It was just Cinco de Mayo, and I couldn't get more texts just to say hey, Ref, congratulations, it's your day.
Thinking about
and. I some people want to call that racist. I don't really call it racist, but I have a huge problem with it. Would you like to know what that is, Kevin?
I actually would.
Okay, here it is. When people send me those texts, it is not per se racist. However, I have a huge issue, which is don't send me texts about Cinco de Mayo unless you provide me a beverage, a.k.a. provide me beer. Because, Kevin, you can't spell appropriation without pay.
That's a good point, and next time I'm in town, we'll do Cinco de whatever month it is.
To be fair, I've also created another drinking holiday. It's called Mexicirish Day. It's a real thing.
Ooh.
I created it.
Oh,
and it's the midpoint between Cinco de Mayo and St. Patrick's Day. And it, I think, approximately takes place between April 11th or 12th. We don't know. We're too lazy to figure it out because Irish Mexican.
I like
figure
the
it out
food truck options, though. And just
they're
in general.
ecstatic.
Yeah.
And the Irish and the Mexicans are collectively disappointments to their collective peoples.
Yeah.
So
a lot of Catholic guilt. A lot of Catholic guilt between the two.
Oh, huge
Catholic guilt.
Yeah, deep.
So, just in case you guys want to go ahead and start planning for next year's, get in touch with me at Verbal Tapcast. Also, Kevin, should they leave a 5-star ranking on our
Please
YouTube?
leave a 5-star review and let us know what dish you're bringing to what's the name?
All right, let's go to our next fight. John, you lead this one off. It's a women's strawweight bout. It's between Jessica Aguilar and Courtney Casey. John, you've got 15.
All right. So I've heard of Jessica Aguilar, and I don't know. Just because his girlfriend said Courtney can't win a fight, I'm going to go with Courtney.
Oh, now see,
no.
that's in-game strategy. He's adjusting to his opponent, Raph, and I don't like it
Wow.
already. I don't like his instincts. You can see they're kicking in. He's like, how do
Kevin,
I
he
start
brought
to...
that off from off air, and he brought it on air.
He did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that was almost dirty,
You
but
s-
I respect it.
You said he was game. I was like,
He is, dude.
okay.
Kev, what do you got for us? 15.
Absolutely, I'm going with Jessica Aguilar. This is the Jag versus Cast Iron on the nicknames. So I will say Jessica Aguilar she's 19-5. She fought 24 times. So we've got an experience versus youth here.
All right. Good to know. All right, we are getting to the point where I'm going to actually make this be a 20-second discussion because we're going to get to the co-main event, which is Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Jessica. Don't correct me.
You do it. Please
John
correct me.
Combs. Listen, John Coombs. I don't need you correcting me on how to pronounce names. I don't go over there stupidly. So you do your job, I'll do mine. Versus, would you like to correct me on this one too, John?
Yes.
Jessica Andrade.
Thank you. So helpful of you to come through and chime in for no reason. Kevin, I'll let you start because he can't wait.
I got to go with the champ. I'm a little nervous. John might have slipped over to Elevation Fight Co. and fought with her a little bit. I don't know how frequently he makes it over there, but I'm certainly a little nervous. But we all are terrified. And frankly, this is the fight you need to book. John Combs, you versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk at the next submission, maybe Underground 6 to give her a little time to rest. I'd watch that fight.
All right. Intergender.
I do not like your chances, by the way. She looks pure violence.
Let this be known. This is the first time Kevin has ever told the fighter on the other side of over-under, Kevin, it's not looking good for you.
He's my only talented grappler. I'm just saying she's got that violence factor.
All right. Well, that's enough out of you. I got 20 seconds. What do you got for us, John?
I'm a big fan of Joanna, and pretty sure I beat her in a BJJ match, but I definitely, I think that would be a fun match, but I don't think it would really happen. So, yeah, F you, bro.
That works.
So you're going for Joanna, yes?
Oh, yeah, of course.
He also
yeah,
didn't
she's
deny
one of
that it would be fun. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, she's one of, dude, she's the scariest kickboxing I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Let's go to our next fight. John, you're going to lead us off on this one. It is a heavyweight fight between Chase Sherman and Rashad Coulter.
So we got Chase Sherman versus Rashad Coulter. I've not heard of either of these gentlemen, but I do, we'll go like Rashad. We'll go after, I'll pick this Rashad guy, Rashad Evans. I don't know. That's the entire reason I'm going after this guy. Let's go, Rashad.
You're just going for the name Rashad, as if his name was Rashad Evans, though his name's Rashad Coulter.
Yes, his name's Rashad Coulter, but yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Kevin, what do you got for us?
Which one is the Coulter fight? I'm having trouble finding this.
It's Chase Sherman versus Rashad Coulter. It's on the Fight Pass preliminary card. Kevin, you have 5 seconds.
Because I have
Make a pick.
I have Sherman versus Pobenzeta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that from the UFC site?
Yes.
There's Joe Jim Christian on here, but he's fighting somebody else.
This is the first time they've changed it.
I was like, they might have done the update on us because it's important to note Victoria chose Coulter, so she agrees with wherever we're normally looking up the fight. But did they bring in Dmitry Probrazets?
Let me see here. Okay, I've got Sherman versus Coulter on the website. Kevin.
Okay, we have two. Do you? Okay.
Yeah, look at it. I will send you UFC.com.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're good. My bad. We're gonna take Coulter.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we agree.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
I like that, Kevin. Where did you get your information from?
I think I had the card up from last week. I think I might have not
God,
had the
Kevin.
card necessarily updated, but we're good. We're back on the
Kevin
thing.
smokes a lot of weed. That's not important to note. Anyway, let's go to our next fight.
I exercise.
I wouldn't judge anybody for doing that.
I was like, I exercise
That's
my
fine,
state's
John.
rights.
You exercise your state's rights, but you also exercise your ability to be lazy and not look it up, Kevin.
It's fair, or maybe not
Yeah,
hit the refresh page quite as abruptly.
Because let me, John, in case you don't know what his lavish Colorado life looks like, I have been there. I have visited him in Colorado, and it looks a lot like this. When he's there, it's weed and puppies. Yay! Puppies come to me. It is a stoner's paradise.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
Kevin
God.
does a lot of rinse and repeat with weed, puppies in a infinite circle.
And
which
I
tells
taught
me
the
why
little
he's so
one.
lazy.
I taught the little one how to do grip drills. So we work a lot of guard lapel, a lot of lapel work.
Nice.
Yeah, weed jiu-jitsu.
Very nice.
Good job, Kevin.
So-
All right.
How many kids do you have, Kevin? Just one?
No kids,
None.
just the dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you teach a dog. Oh, okay.
Even better if Kevin had taught one of his kids.
Wait, you teaching a dog how to do grips?
Oh yeah.
What?
Just
What
to
are you
bite him.
doing?
He bites them. So he
Oh.
bites the thing, and I can work lapels.
No, he gets one of his paws
Oh,
from
nice.
Spider Guard. It's a cute
great.
trick. It's gonna be on Stupid Petrix one of these days.
I literally dude, I just want to be honest. I literally had I thought you were talking about a human, and then I saw a dog biting on a gi lapel and ripping it back. It was no, I don't think a dog. Why would you teach a dog to do that?
Kevin, I think we're ready to go to the next fight. It's a light heavyweight fight between Wojcim Christensen and Gazhimurad Antigolov. Go.
Your finest work yet in terms of
Commitment, Kevin.
Well, this is easy. In a classic Russia versus Denmark, much like when it's John and myself, John's a trained fighter. He's busy. He's got shit to do. Same with the guy from Denmark. So we're going to go with Gadzhimurad Antigulov.
All right, what do you got for us, John? 15.
Oh man, so I'm gonna be honest. His name sounds like Godzilla, kind of. Looking at it like Gadzhimurad.
Shit,
So,
it does.
It does sound. It looks a lot like Godzilla. So I'm going after completely different reason here. But yeah, let's go Godzilla.
I love it.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good nickname for him. He should think about that,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, he should.
All right, John, we're going to stick with you. We got a lightweight fight between Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier. What do you got for us, sir?
Ooh, I'm really excited for this one. I mean, this is a dream fight from back in the day. Both super good, super talented. Gonna go with Dustin Poirier on getting the upset over Eddie.
Interesting. Kevin, what are your thoughts on that?
This one hurt, Ref. Because I'm sticking with my paradigm. I'm letting the girlfriend choose, and she chose Alvarez. And why did Poirier get demoted from main card first fight status? Lead the main card off with him. It's always the best. I don't understand why he got demoted, but it's going to affect him
Kevin, they
mentally.
need somebody to lead that FX card because
Dude,
now
you know-
it's going to be on FX.
Dude, I'll tell you this. That is one of they both have lost. They both lost to Connor, actually. So that might be a reason why they're on that undercard. But, dude, that's one of the most exciting fights the UFC has. It's ridiculous that that's on preliminary. They should save that shit for the next card. Put it on the
Thank
main.
you.
That's ridiculous.
I agree. I'm taking Alvarez, but this fight belongs one card up. Raph, are you going to make
Yeah.
the argument that this is good for the
I'll make
lead-in?
the argument. I think it's important that you got to get draw to viewers. So normally if you're on Fox Sports Juan, they don't really give a shit. They just take whatever they get. But if you're on FX, that means they're taking out time from running Iron Man 3, which probably nets them $1,000 million every time they play it. So if you're going to put on some cage fighters fighting, their words, not mine, then you got to make it worth your while. So you got to put one of those must-draw people or cards to attract the people. So yeah, it makes sense. It's why Uriah Faber became that slot all of the time.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. then I overreacted there. Thank you for explaining.
I still disagree. No, I'm on the other train. I think fine. Move Yair and Frankie Edgar and put Poirier where he belongs.
Whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's move, say, Judo and Pettis.
Oh, actually,
no offense to the Olympians.
That's not a terrible plan.
I was like, I don't disagree with that either. Yeah, I was like, I'm in. That sounds good.
You can expand that to the main audience with an Olympic gold medalist. And John Combs, listen, you and I see eye to eye. Unlike Kevin, who evil, and you should never teach him your secrets because you live.
You told me he has puppies and green stuff.
See.
That sounds like a pretty good guy.
I'm going to lure him to the apartment. I'm going to make food, Raph. I'm going to grill up some steak. Don't even think about it.
If the two of you form an alliance against me, podcast over. And I will put that out there right now.
I will stop short of ending this. I think you're onto something, man.
I will turn this podcast around. So don't you both of you. All right. Speaking of which, brought it up. Kevin, why don't we go ahead and do the fight? A lightweight bout between Henry Cejudo and Sergio Pettis.
Yeah, this one again, I actually just want to applaud my girlfriend. I didn't know you could look into Sergio Pettis' eyes and choose anyone else. But sure enough, she did. And Henry Cejudo, we're going to go, it's that shot he does. I don't know if she saw the video because I liked it 85 times, his wrestling training shot, but we're going to go with Cejudo.
All right. John, what do you got for us? 15.
Well, he's one of the youngest American Olympic gold medalists, Americans that's ever, he's one of the first Americans to ever do it that young. He's got, real hard competitive spirit. He's only lost the two best guys in the division. I bet he's been having a hell of a camp. I'm going with Henry Cejudo as well, but, different reasons.
Interesting. Is that contingent on if he makes weight?
Oh.
Come on.
How dare you?
It's not my fault.
How dare you?
How dare you, Kevin? I did that for America. Okay? Somebody needed to say it.
Well, yeah, that is unacceptable.
You know what the dumb part is? What's a wrestler going to tell me if I make you didn't make weight joke? They're already beating themselves up enough about it. So anything I say is immaterial, okay? I know my bounds. Yeah. And you know what, John? Since you're good at jiu-jitsu, I'm going to go ahead and let you pick the first person on this fight. And I will tell you if it's the wrong person because we may kick you off. But it's a welterweight fight between Damian Maia and Jorge Masvidal. Go.
All right, Damian Maia is the uncrowned king of jiu-jitsu in the MMA world. I think he's one of the best guys out there. Got to go with him in this fight. That said, Jorge is a monster on the feet. Scary dude. Just knocked out Cowboy, so you can't. This is a hell of a fight, but Damian Maia for sure.
Kevin?
We're at a real relationship crossroads here.
Oh, fuck. Are you serious?
Yep. So here's the question. Wow. I'm in a Sophie's choice. I have to pick one or the other.
We're out of time now, so you can pick one.
I don't know how to do this out loud, but if I'm sticking with the paradigm, and I'm just going to say it, yes, I think couples counseling is in the future for my girlfriend and I. And that's tough to admit to strangers on the radio or friends. But
just get to the pick.
Jorge Masvidal. I don't want to say it out loud.
Wow, Kevin. I have that on tape now. I have.
Yeah, that's unacceptable, man.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
John, can you do me a favor?
Rob,
ask Kevin this following question.
John and I are no longer going to be friends.
Now.
I can feel it.
Okay. John, ask him this question because I can't look at him. Okay?
Okay.
I need you to look into the void that is this conversation through the interwebs, and I want you to look Kevin directly in the eye and say, Kevin, why do you hate jiu-jitsu?
Kevin, why do you hate jiu-jitsu?
Because it's defeated me just on a daily basis. So I've decided this is my stance, and here it is. I don't know, guys.
I love this. This is the best.
You think jiu-jitsu? Wait, you don't like that jiu-jitsu beats you every day? That's what makes jiu-jitsu great.
Yeah, I'll tell that the next time Sean is just choking me uncontrollably from the mount.
Oh yeah, Waddle would be doing that. Waddle's such
I'll let
a scary dude.
I'll remind you. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. This is joy.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up now because we've only got 2 fights left. So it's important that we note this every time around this part of the picking portion. But John, we actually like to have a wager on this show. Now, granted, we're all jiu-jitsu people, so we don't make money. So it's never money. But we do kind of a wager.
Thank God.
Now, Kevin, what are some wagers that you have won in the past?
Private lessons, mostly. That's all I can think of.
You don't get to do that one. I have nixed that as a possibility.
And that's
Kevin,
never happened before, ever, by the way. Just a heads up. But I actually was just finishing the letter I owe to Tap Cancer House John Thomas about why Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever. That one hurt to articulate, especially after the most recent. Fuck him in Atlanta. Ouch.
Yeah. That was glorious to watch, just as a spectator, somebody who doesn't really mind too much about me. It was pretty awesome to see a human being do that on his own. I mean, that was crazy. Wasn't
just on his own. Don't ever outlook what the Falcons did to. I think there's a lot of other guys who were
a lot of people deserve credit. There's been some social media posts. I had to do 100 burpees once for a Canadian named Drew Weatherhead. Congrats to him on his super fight results today. Might not have gone the way he wanted, but great fight. And that's a good je ne sais quoi of it, Raph.
So, John, you don't have to say what it is right now. In fact, we prefer if you didn't, so that we can have some suspense to this. But do you have an idea for a bet or a wager you would like to have with Kevin by the end of this? Just say yes if you have an idea.
I mean, by the end of this, yes.
Oh, perfect. John, this is why we like you. This is why we know you're a gamer. So we know what we got into here. All right, Kevin, I'm ready to do the next to last fight. Are you ready to say what it is?
Yes, I'm really ready if I think the next to last fight is what you're about to choose. Yeah, I'm ready.
Please tell me, Kevin, what is it?
Are you going to give me the chance to choose between Jotko and Branch?
Oh, don't sell this short. All right, fine. It's a middleweight fight between Christoph Jotko and Davey Branch. Who do you have, Kevin?
I'm taking Davey Branch. In his fight summary, he listed determination, technique, and power. So if 2 of your primary skills are determination and power, I'm choosing you at the age of 35 because you better fucking bring both. From the Bronx. So I'm taking Branch.
All right. What do you got for us, John?
Well, he's another Renzo Gracie black belt. So
Branches?
I'm definitely have to say he's going to smash this guy up. Yeah, David Branch is a Renzo Gracie black belt. He's actually pretty savage. I've watched some of his fights. I'm a big fan.
I didn't even list
Hopefully he gets it.
I got really lucky.
All right, I think it's time. Gentlemen, I'm going to go and put 23 seconds on the clock for this final bout. It's a heavyweight championship match between Stipe Mekok and Junior dos Santos? I don't know. Listen, John, you're going to start us off on this one.
All right. I hope that those name pronunciations were supposed to make us angry, but this is a great fight. I'm a big fan of Stipe. I met him when I was in Cleveland. He's a real good dude. I mean, I just said, hey, I'm a big fan, but yeah. I think he's going to take this fight to Junior. That said, Stipe's most recent loss was to Junior, so that's got to be considered going into this. But as long as Stipe can get in the late rounds, he should knock this guy out.
All right, he's going for Stipe. Kevin, what do you have for us?
He forgot to mention their Ohio allegiance, by the way, which everyone knows on a chart of what's your favorite states? Like, I don't know, Hawaii, California. What's your least favorite? Mississippi, Ohio, every time. That said, that's why he's such a good fighter. Junior Dos Santos lives in Brazil. He loves his life. Not Stipe. Stipe's living in Steel Town crazy. This is easy. And as my girlfriend dictates, because I think I might have gone Dos Santos in this, I'm going to go with Stipe Miocic.
Interesting. All right, so you guys have agreed on the final bout. All right, let's do this.
And hey, Ralph, I would like to get a little interception there, if I may.
Oh, please do. Go ahead.
All right. Cleveland's actually pretty nice. I spent a little bit of time there just the weekend, but the city's doing a lot better. things are actually looking pretty good there. I actually had a really good time when I visited Cleveland, so check it out.
Okay, this is where I admit something to you. I was gonna say, the black belt has the floor, but clearly it's a fake black belt. Now that we're really thinking about it,
I was like, Elliot's
how is it a
just
fake
handing
black
them
belt?
out
Well,
over
John,
there.
let's just be very clear
just
about
throwing them
something.
at people. It's not interesting.
Let's just be very clear. Your love of Ohio makes me want to go ahead and talk to the board.
Which board?
The board of international black belts. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Let's
It's
get
the
this
same
BJJ
board.
Heroes website under review.
It's the same
people know
board that,
about
like,
this?
whenever somebody asks, they're like, when there's a rule you don't know why IBJJF does. And it's just like, why can't black belts like reap? And it's just like, oh, it's from on high. And you go, is there just a conference of like black belts that just get together and go, no? So in me, I think it's like a shadow organization of black belts that get together and that's like, this week, no heel hooks. Like, I feel that is what happens. So yes, I will talk to the board about John Combs.
Okay. I love grand conspiracies. Let me know what you find out.
Gotcha. I know. This is where John gets into his 30 on Flat Earth, but I'm going to go ahead and stop that because in the event of a tie, we need to know what you guys are picking for your 2 performances of the night. They used to do submission. They used to do knockout. They don't do that anymore. But it's 2 performances of the night and a fight of the night. Kevin, I'm going to start with you.
By the way, I'm glad you remind people that because the broadcast forgets every UFC fight.
Ugh.
Somebody will inevitably be like, submission to the... Oh, shit. They can never get it right. It's completely ingrained in their head. I'll do performance of the night. 1 goes to Jed Rizek. Performance of the night 2 goes to I'm going to give that fight of the night. Goes to Miocic because they're such star fuckers about these titles. And fight of the night goes to Alvarez Poirier.
All right. Let's go on to John.
All right. I'm going to do this the other way. I think fight of the night's going to be Cejudo versus Pettis. Going on a limb there, I'm thinking that these 2 guys check their backs against the wall. Hopefully, they really bring it. Performance of the night number 1, Damian Maia for sure. To see him
fuck you.
landing some
Good call.
submission action there.
Kevin, you don't get to talk about jiu-jitsu anymore. You've
know.
lost that
I'm sorry.
right.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll be quiet.
That's right. Then the other, I'm going to go with Stipe with the knockout. Performance of the night.
Ooh, this is a bold play. I like where you are playing on this one, sir. Well, guys, we've gotten all the way to the end, and we're in need to get a wager. John, you mentioned you were going to come up with an idea. I always defer to the guest. I would love to hear what you have in mind. You have the floor.
All right. So I'm only saying, so it's kind of like another Cleveland thing, but my uncle took me to the Cleveland Zoo when I was visiting there. How about 2 tickets to the Denver Zoo for me and my girlfriend? And then, I would get you 2 tickets for that. Or I guess, it could be 2 tickets worth of against the private if you want to be a jackass.
Raph, I accept.
Oh. Well, here is the reason why. Because, Kev, I was not certain. This does involve money.
Yeah, this does, in fact, go the opposite way.
Oh. Yeah, I thought it was that just meant look like cash.
I mean, we know how well you're doing, obviously. In the jiu-jitsu commentary game, there's no money whatsoever. But, we don't get invited to the super
Well,
fight.
Kev, you agreed to it, though. Do you have a counter, or do you want to stick with that one?
No, I did like his, or 2 tickets towards a private if you want to be a jackass. Was a great.
Oh, no, I meant dude, it wouldn't be, I would put an hour private you would get if you win, or if I win, 2 tips like that. All right, but what do you guys usually bet for this?
Well, I mean, normally we have like Kevin says, there's social media bets. There's kind of silly, then
fuck the zoo. Let's do something ridiculous.
I have to roll with Jubera in the most embarrassing grappling tights I can find. Which
that's 1 loss.
He's gonna say it doesn't bother him, but he is gonna choke me harder than he normally would. Just when he sees.
Okay,
them.
I like that. I would be willing to put something on the line for that.
That was Emil Fisher, who's a dickhead and threw donuts out at his last fight to win pro.
Yeah. Well, Kev,
right,
your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts, Kevin?
Well,
Yeah.
he also, he's peaked a hole. It's like, God, I got to go to the zoo and the aquarium. I haven't been to either yet, but that's not what this is
I
about.
haven't been to the zoo either.
So I accept either, but I would also counter with there is a niceness here where we are in which the same place. And I have always said I think it's an interesting social experiment for weed jitsu. Ref, I'm not going to say if I win, I want a 5-minute, hey, watch what happens when two people smoke a lot of weed and then train, because I don't think it's going to look any different. That's my venture, but I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm just tossing things at the wall right now.
I think some fun, but talk about it after.
So let's go with an early 2 tickets to the zoo. Let's make this a bet.
And then if Kevin wins, or if Victoria wins, that's an interesting component that we haven't thought about.
That's why I like it, Raph. Honestly, I thought the girlfriend component is what made this interesting, because I think either way, I'm headed to the aquarium or the zoo. It's just a matter of what I'm funding.
Here's what's going to happen, though, John. I really want to make sure you understand what happens.
He's going to get 2 tickets to the zoo, and it's going to turn into 4 tickets. And he's going to be like, I brought my mobile mat for the picnic.
No, I know, he's definitely not. He's not allowed to train with you. I've kiboshed that. What I'm saying, though, is it's definitely going to be like if Kevin loses or Victoria and Kevin lose, then all of that's going to happen is he's going to get you the tickets, and Kevin's going to be like, what are you doing here? Oh, my God, John Combs, did you guys want to go to train real quick? The girls can go shopping. It's no big deal. I'm well aware of what's happening here.
I brought yogurt. It's frozen.
So, all right. Well, that is, you know what? If we have an accord, I am good with it. I will go ahead and sanction that. John, let's do this. I know you have Submission Underground this time next week, but would you be interested in watching the fights and then finding a time to get back and talk with us next week?
Just do a 5-minute check-in
absolutely.
about your violent loss.
Okay, I like the sound of that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I most of these were kind of pulled out of the hat, but we'll see. I do feel confident in Damien and Stipe. So let's hope the guys show up.
People have always beat Kevin at this game, so just know that. We don't know how Kevin has done with aid of Victoria. Now, Kevin, I have a caveat for you. Does the show, aka us, myself, our audience, and John, get to see your picks and see who picks better between you and Victoria? Because I think there needs to be a side bet to see if she beats your picks, because you were so adamant about saying oh, it's her fault. Oh God, I hate jiu-jitsu because of her.
I know. I chose.
Thank you, Ross.
Maybe. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do me a favor, Kevin. You're going to talk with Victoria tonight, and next week you're going to reveal what you're going to buy her or do for her. If she leads you to the promised land.
We're headed to the zoo. We'll see.
Well, no, I mean, the zoo is one thing, but you got to do something else for her, because she went out of her time to go ahead and pick stuff for you.
I don't think she listens to this show, Raph. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal either way.
Dear Victoria, how are you? Kevin's an idiot. We agree on that. All right. Other things. All right. Listen, we couldn't be happier that you came on the show today. You are always you're one of our favorite people to watch, and we legit enjoy you just because we think that you're one of the guys in jiu-jitsu that has a personality, and that's always a huge thing for us.
And just pushes the action. You're a blast to watch every time. So in terms of grappling, obviously we've been joking with you, but you're spectacular, and you're on that young and up-and-coming wave, which is a blast to watch in terms of just people that are moving forward. This is a compliment I'll pay to you in terms of, and I think the grappling community is absolutely going to understand what I mean, and so will, as we see more MMA fighters transitioning and going back and forth, the crowds are getting more merged. But the way I'd put it is, if someone's on their butt and scooting forward, they're going to get you. They're going to get a fight. You're not moving from anybody, and no one gets the chance to move away from you. So that's a fun characteristic. So keep that up, and it's a blast to watch.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
All right, John, where can people find you on the social medias? Because I think I saw you doing some really cool stuff on an instructional on your Instagram yesterday. Yes, no?
I did post a little short clip of me doing some wall work earlier today. But yeah, my Instagram is Combs Jiu-Jitsu. You can find me there. And then just search in Facebook, John Combs, and you should be able to find me pretty easy. It's a
Okay.
single picture.
And
I
are
live
you
in
doing
Boulder.
seminars? Because I think if you were doing a seminar, I think Kevin being able to pay for a seminar is fair.
Okay. Yeah, at some point we're going to look into that. Right now, I just want to get to this fight and get it done. But like I said, 7 weeks, and it's a lot of time to learn how to do some stuff. So, I have not done a seminar yet, but I do. I will be trying to push them going forward here.
But Kevin, if that's the case, if he's starting to film stuff now, would you watch videos from him?
I was gonna say, how do we? Yeah, let's start getting some more John on the interwebs.
Yeah, it's just gonna be on Combs Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, I think that's how I'm gonna keep my hashtag on Instagram. Is it that? And yeah. I mean, it'll be coming out. I'm trying to do telling people on air is gonna hopefully hold me to it a little more, but like 3 1-minute videos a week. On Instagram.
I'll take that. Well, John, listen, like I said, you're just one of our favorite people. We're glad we got to bring you on. We look forward to seeing you compete at Submission Underground. We cannot wait for that. And we can't wait to have you back on the show very, very soon. So please enjoy the rest of your night, sir. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Awesome, Raph. I had a really good time. Thank you very much. And Kevin, it was good to see you again. And you train at Jubera Jiu-Jitsu, right?
I do. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, that's, we don't do class. Like, it's hard to get in. You have to know him. He doesn't like outsiders. I'm sure you get that. I'm joking, by the way. He loves outsiders, and they all speak highly of you, which is really frustrating as well.
Yeah. No, actually, I train at Jubera's. I usually do every week, Tuesday at 11.
Yeah.
But if we do train, how about this, Raph? I won't guillotine him. I'll just arm bar him.
Ooh, nice. So I have to come to competition class to fight him. That's what I have to do.
You're only gonna armbar Kevin?
Not just armbar. I'm sure they like Kimuras and
you can do whatever you want, but just don't show them how you do it. That's the important thing.
General joint manipulation.
Yeah. Okay, so I can't show him how to do the guillotine?
No. That's deep.
Hey, all right, Rob. That's a pretty big thing for me. What if somebody else shows him the guillotine?
We'll see. I'm awfully persuasive too. I'm going to show up this Tuesday and be like, "Please, John."
Kevin's gonna have one of his puppies and a whole bunch of weed, and just being like, "Oh my God, he's John."
Oh, I didn't know you'd be here. That's crazy.
All I know is, John, if you teach him something and you don't teach me the response to it or something better, then we friendship over.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm sure I can always come up with something better. So
I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much to John. We appreciate you. We will watch you on Submission Underground. We'll catch up with you next week, sir.
Awesome. Sounds great, guys. Thank you very much.
Raph, John Combs is the man, and I'm nervous that he's within striking distance because I can practically see Boulder from my apartment on a clear night such as this. Fantastic booking by you. I think Victoria destroyed him, and I'm prepared to blame either him or her.
Okay.
Actually, either way. And what a night to celebrate the Colorado western side of things. We didn't need any East Coasters for this podcast. Not tonight. That's going to do it for us. It's time for some shout outs. I'll kick off this joint. First to United. My girlfriend had to fly all the way to France and back, and I just want to thank them for not fucking her up. I appreciate that. I know how hard it is.
To leave people alone.
When you're in the when you're in the airline business, not to rip them off the flight violently, but just super thanks. Always makes the trip. Teamwork makes the dream work. And big shout out to Jubera Jiu-Jitsu. We got our rash guards this week, Raph.
They look good.
Team
you sent me a photo and I like them.
Pretty badass. Nice thick material. Really looking forward to getting some training into that thing. Might be the only reason I'm really focused on no-gi in the next 2 weeks, just to wear the rash guard. Might be the only. But it sounds like I also have to get there on some Tuesday competition days. But it'll be interesting to hear. I know Professor Jubera is out fighting with James Popolo this week, so that ought to be adding more stuff to the sharpened chest of secrets. Will is at the University of Jiu-Jitsu, so it's fun to be at a place where they're taking off on the weekends to go train at some different places and bring back some moves. So our coaches have been nice and busy. It's going to be a good time here in Denver. And Raf, today they had the ladies open mat. They had like 20 people there, 25 people there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they open it up to just everybody around the neighborhood, around the area, around the whole front range, as we call it, or if you want to venture into the mountains. And it's just cool to see a big group showing up. And if you're one of the many ladies that listens to this podcast, trains jiu-jitsu in the Colorado area, want to get a good open mat, Sundays they do it, I think, like once a month, maybe twice a month. They do 2 o'clock at Jubera Jiu-Jitsu. It's a blast, it looks like. And that's going to do it for me, Raf.
Oof, sounds like good times over there. Good for you guys. I mean, not good. I don't really like
people
when
are going to be beating the shit out of me, but otherwise,
You
yeah,
have
because we have Eric and
good
Ashley fighting on this Denver card coming up, so there's a lot going on.
I want to go ahead and start by saying a very big set of congratulations over to my good friend Kyle Aho, who today was given his purple belt. Now, Kyle has been a frequent person that I talk about on the show. He always brings like great clash whenever we train, but he has been one of the longest standing members of Valley Martial Arts Center, and it's been a long time coming, but he definitely deserves it. And, you know, the funniest part about him, I guess, getting his purple is when it did happen for him, he's like, dude, I feel like there's a target on my back. And I was like, well, there's 2 things that happened here, Kyle. One, you got it in front of everybody here at the seminar. And Jean-Jacques is holding your purple belt with you in this. So, yeah, that might encourage some people to beat you up today. And 2, sometimes you roll like a madman. So you might have put the target on yourself. Note to you.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
You started this.
But, you know, I mean, it's up to you. So I wanted to give him a congratulatory roll, and it was fun. And I have to say, he was one of the 3 people who was asking for tips for Jean-Jacques to beat me. And you know what? Didn't happen today, Kyle. And it's not going to. I mean, statistically, it probably will. But it didn't happen today.
That's not the fucking point of
that's
what
not the
we're
fucking
talking
point.
about right
Though,
now.
to be fair, there was one moment where he had my back and he goes, shit. Well, I guess whatever Jean-Jacques teaches doesn't work. And I was like, don't say that out loud. They just gave you your purple belt, kid. So anyway, there's that. Thank you to everybody who came. Again, all the extended family. We love you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy the interview that I have with Jean-Jacques. I want to go and shout out the guys at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. Danine, honestly, great interview. Please watch it. Please tell your friends. If you think jujitsugame.com is the shit, order it. See for yourselves because, listen, I have no invested stake in any of this. I just think it's cool. And I know how much we all nerd out on stuff, and I would really like to see you guys enjoy it and play the game. So that is my hope for you all. But we had a great seminar. Thank you to everybody who came out to that. Again, morning training is going to be 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we are doing open mats on Fridays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. So let us know if you guys can make that. If you have any questions, hit me up or the other guys. Let me also go ahead and put a nice big shout out to all of our friends who were allowing us to come train with them. So that's we just went down to go train at Phenom Jiu-Jitsu the other day, and Larry and George and all the guys over there, thank you so much for being so kind. We also went to train today at 10th Planet Costa Mesa. Our good friends over there had some great clashes with so many of those guys, including but not limited to my buddy Albert Cedillo. Jesus, I'm losing names. Dirty Ron Turner, Matt, all of those savages. And I know some of you guys listen in. So let me just let you know, you can tell those other people they're quite good at jiu-jitsu. So there's that. And I expect to see you guys at my tournament. Kevin, what tournament?
U.S. Grappling. Well,
The U.S. Submission Grappling League. That is the USSGL.com. You can register for our tournament. We have a May 28th. It is gi and no gi. It is submission only rules with EBI overtime. And they range from anywhere between 5 to 8 minutes, depending on the age, category, weight, and belt or experience level. So we encourage you guys to do this. And for our one absolute division for gi and no gi, which is all ages and experiences, well, not ages because we're not throwing kids in there, but for all ages and experiences, we're putting in all the belt levels in our gi and no gi divisions, and you can win a cash prize. I believe it's going to be $500 for gi and $500 for no gi. pending. We have all those
Damn.
participants. So we are trying to get you guys to get on out there and take the money, but we need a lot of competitors in order to make that happen. And the way you can make it happen is by going to ussgl.com/register. And if you have any further questions, you can go ahead and hit me up. And Kevin, ask me how much it is for kids.
How much?
40. Ask me how it is for the adults.
What's the adult price? I'm actually
50. So what I'm telling you guys is that is an affordable rate. We hope you do it. We hope you get involved, and we hope you guys share the articles that we got going on from there. We also want to send a shout out to Submission Underground, who saw our Clay Guida interview and apparently did a shout out and said, "Hey, I didn't know Clay wants in on submission grappling. We may have to go ahead and get him on here."
Oh shit.
So John Combs, they are definitely listening, just to let you know.
Hey.
So we hope them and many of them well over the weekend. And, I just want to go ahead and send, the nice shout outs to everybody who's been coming in, sending great notes. We had a guy named Pablo train with us the other day at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. It was his birthday, so we filmed his role. I did some commentary, and all those people over in Portland, including his instructor, Kevin, Nathan Orchard, who is teaching his white belts scary things. Mm-hmm. So, again, props to my buddy Drew, and props to our friend Thor Skanky, who put on a series of male versus female grappling matches of males who don't know what they're doing and are just big guys versus females, and no one, I think, got killed. So, Metathorus, go look him up, Thor Skanky. He has his own show called The Thor Skanky Show. If you are so interested in that, let him know if you enjoyed it, and if you are not, don't direct the hate mail to me. And you know what, Kevin? I think that's going to do it for me today.
Hey, and one final shout out. David DK Lee got his brown belt up there in northern VA. I saw over the weekend. So special shout out to him. Tough guy, always has been. Even back when he was a blue belt ref, back in his humble beginnings. When I first met him as just a huge giant, basically. That's how I describe him, with good movement. That's going to do it for us tonight here at Verbal Tap. I'm Kevin. Thanks for listening.
Good night and good fight.